Hey, it's Dr. Jan. Long time no see. Sorry I haven't been posting lately. I've been super busy and just took a little bit of a break from it. And I probably should have posted that on my channel, but I didn't. So I apologize for that. Today I want to talk to you about how do you build support when you're being bullied. And support really encompasses both at your home and at work, right? So you really need support in both of those realms. I'm going to start with how you build support at home because that might be a little bit easier than in your bully culture that you're working in. So one of the things, first off, I'm going to put out a word of caution is lots of times when you're being bullied, you have a tendency to sort of become obsessed with it. It's like when you go home, that's all you can think about because you want somebody to intervene and you know they're not. And so it just like it becomes all encompassing and all consuming in everything that you do. First off, what I'm going to recommend is that you learn how to keep your work stuff at work, but you still need support. And it's not healthy for you to think about it 24/7. So develop some sort of strategy that helps you release your work and workplace bullying before you get home. Okay. But you still need people to tell and talk to about it when you're at home because sometimes things just become overwhelming and it's hurtful and painful to be bullied. So find a trusted friend or a family member. And one of the things you might have to do is you might have to educate them about workplace bullying. Because when I told my family, which really I only told my kids, I didn't talk to my parents or my siblings about it, they're not safe for me. And so I talked to my kids about it, and my kids didn't believe me. In fact, years later, my son said, "Well, I thought you were exaggerating." So you have to educate them about what the issue is because they might victim blame and ask what you're doing to deserve that. And you know that you're not doing anything to deserve workplace bullying. Workplace bullying is happening to you, it's not something you caused. So find a trusted family member or friend to talk to, but don't talk to them about it all the time. Talk to them about it once in a while when it becomes overwhelming to you. The other thing you can do is, of course, you can seek out counseling or therapy if you're interested in that. The other thing you can do is, I don't know if you know, but I'm a workplace coach and I help victims of workplace bullying. And I can work with you to support you through your journey of workplace bullying to strategize different ideas. So you can also try to seek out a support group if they have those. Lots of times there aren't support groups specifically for workplace bullying, but any support group around trauma could be beneficial to you. But let's talk about how do you develop support at work? That's the problem. Well, one of the things I recommend is that you do exactly what the bully does, and we're going to pull a play from their playbook. And one of the things that they're very, very good at is cultivating relationships with people in power and getting people to see things their way, meaning that they're out there spreading lies and gaslighting people about you. Now, you're not going to lie or gaslight people because that's not how we roll. We're people who are being bullied and we have integrity, and we're not going to stoop down to their level. But what I'm saying is they spend a lot of time cultivating relationships with people. I think you should do the same thing, is not be in HR's office or, hobnobbing with your supervisor. But when the opportunity arises to start to show who you are to those people who are in power positions at your work. So when you see the HR director or someone from the HR office, you walk down and you say, "Hey, I really like that jacket you're wearing. Oh, thank you for sending out that email. That was really, really valuable to me." Responding to emails just like that. "This email is so valuable. Thank you for sharing it." You can share tidbits of information that they might find valuable. You can ask them if they want a cup of coffee. Ask them what kind of coffee they want, right? So you might stop in or walk by their office on purpose so that you can have a brief and short conversation so that you begin to cultivate a relationship and they see you in a different light. That's exactly what the bully is doing, but they're spreading lies and gaslighting, and you're just trying to build a relationship with integrity and value. The other thing you can do is I highly recommend, if at all possible, now I also know that this isn't always possible, is that you find a supportive partner. And I'll put down below, I think I have some articles and some information about how you can get a supportive partner, right? There's a whole process that I wrote about in my book, The Workplace Warrior, and that link is below too, which looks at how you get a supportive partner. You have to have people that you trust, and you have to figure out if they're trustworthy. First off, at the very top, anybody who has engaged in bullying who's a bystander can be crossed off your list. You want people who are either not saying anything, it's even better if they've tried to stick up for you, but you want people who are trustworthy. And so there's a process to go about, and you can utilize those supportive partners in case you just need to vent a little. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of venting, but if you're stressed out, you can vent about your feelings, not about the person. And talk to that person about what's happening to you. And the two of you, again, ideal if you do have a good supportive partner, can work together in order to minimize and reduce the harm of workplace bullying. And one of the things that bystanders don't realize is there are so many things they can do that benefit you to reduce your trauma, and nobody has to know that they're doing it. Okay. And so it's really important, if you don't have anybody in your unit or your department, maybe find somebody outside of your department. For example, I worked in higher education, and so there were a lot of people in a lot of other departments that knew what I was going through, and I could utilize them as supportive partners. If there's nobody in your organization at all, again, maybe you can look to some people who come to your agency that are not clients, but maybe if you're in a human service agency, other social workers, if you're in education, other teachers, etc., so that you have somebody at some point that's a friendly face that you can just have a cup of coffee with, or just a brief chit chat, somebody who can help you at work to relieve your stress. Okay. And that's why having supportive family and friends are valuable as well. They can always call you or you can call them. But it is difficult to find people that you trust when you're at work in a workplace bullying situation, but it can be done. The process for you just has to be one that you are not allowing somebody to be your supportive partner who's going to go back to the bully or do something to hurt you, because we absolutely don't want that. But I'll put those articles and that information down below. And the other thing, I would love it if you would just drop me a comment or send me an email at jan@stopbullyculture.com. Anything you'd like to talk to, or excuse me, anything you'd like me to talk to you about in relationship to workplace bullying. One of the things that I'm working on right now is a healing guide called Out of the Shadows. And what that is it's something that you can utilize if you're being bullied or if you were out of workplace bullying. And it will help you heal that complex trauma from workplace bullying. So, again, if you're interested in that, I'm hoping to have that out in the next week or two. And I will let you know where that is. And if you're interested, just let me know. And if there's anything I can do, as always, I'm here to support you. And I'm still on my mission to stop workplace bullying.